No in one was found in the making of today's episode.
Oh dear. Welcome back to No Ginger. I'm Samar.
I'm Ash. We're here once again to commiserate with all members of the international community in Japan, those who have solutions, those who don't have solutions for all the problems that we face in our situationship that exists between us and the land of the rising sun.
It was so dramatic.
It was really dramatic, but I kind of I felt the vibe.
Situationship.
It's because you partially, I said, is it not funny? I feel like it's funny.
We're never getting married, Japan.
Yeah, it is what it is. It is simply a situationship.
Damn, I didn't think it would be such unrequited love like this.
I do feel it's very unrequited. I have a story to prove how unrequited it is. I'm not even sure that I even love Japan that much for it to be unrequited. It's just kind of like we're colleagues. Japan and I are colleagues. We just kind of pass each other in the hallway.
I would like to remind you that we were also once colleagues.
Yeah,
so
but we're not
hurts.
anymore. That's ridiculous.
My feelings. I see what she thinks of me.
We were colleagues, and then we became drinking buddies. We kind of jumped really fast.
Like a situationship.
It was a situationship, but it resolved itself.
I think we're still in a situation.
What situation? I see what you think about me. What situationship are we in? Hold on.
Anyway, back to your problems.
Okay, my problem this week is that after so many years in Japan, finally, something I have been warned about, told would happen, has finally happened.
I can't think of what this could be.
Well,
someone grabbed your hair.
You know what? That didn't happen, but I was not warned that would happen.
Oh, maybe that's a brown black
I was
people
gonna
thing.
say, I don't think that's a white people problem. Just to be honest. No, I am a woman who you cannot really tell if you are watching this on video. I am a woman of ink. I have tattoos.
Oh, I forget yours. They're so small.
They are. They're very small. They're really cute. Like, it's kind of like you were clearly 18 once, and that is fine. I accept it. We've all made mistakes in our lives. Some of us moved to Japan, and
hey, my life turned out great.
Well, that's because I'm here as your colleague, former.
Same to you, bro.
Yes. But anyway, because I have tattoos, I was warned
you got kicked
that
out of
I
the
would
bath?
get kicked out of a bath. I was told, oh, don't go to any baths. Like, if you go to onsen, you will get kicked out. As something of a personal hygiene freak, I have been to many bathhouses.
She loves the
I
bathhouses.
really like them.
Aren't you like best friends with your neighborhood, like old man bathhouse?
Yeah, I
owner?
love homeboy who works at my neighborhood onsen. Or I guess, I'm not sure if that thing is technically a sento. And before everybody in the comments gets up in arms and is like, oh my gosh, but if it's sento, it's tattoo friendly. Like, that is not a 100% black and white situation. Please calm down. So I have been to so many onsen and never been told to leave. I've even been in onsen with mini oba-chan who are just poking at my shoulder or my sides and being like, oh, what is this? Oh, that's so cute. Like, when did you get it? What does it mean? Like, they're really curious. So I've never actually had somebody approach me and go, you can't have that in here. You have to go. But finally it has happened. And I think it's because I think it's the poor luck of my friend who took me. I'm going to blame her.
Where did this happen?
This happened in Chiba.
That's your problem right there.
That might also be the problem right there. I mean, we know that I don't have a lot of love for Chiba, so I do feel like this was Chiba's like very personal revenge toward me.
I feel like, because you've gone in Kanagawa.
Yes.
You've gone all over Japan.
Yes.
You went to Chiba.
Yes.
And then you got kicked out.
Yes.
Okay, well, you deserved it.
I guess. Like, I will say, like, full disclosure that this place did say no tattoos. Like, not even with a shuru, like a bandage or
yeah.
a bandage or a sticker. You cannot enter, which I kind of feel like is silly because you could just lie that you have like a wound or something, which why would you get in the bath? But I feel like they would accept it. Silliness. It did say no tattoos, but because I have been to so many that said no tattoos, and then when I've asked, they've been like, oh, we don't care. You're not part of the Yakuza, so just go ahead. It's fine.
Maybe they thought you were a Barbie spy.
Maybe, with my horrendous Japanese that I probably spoke.
You did it
I didn't ask.
purpose.
So even though this place said no tattoos, because I have been to so many that also said no tattoos, and I still was able to go without an issue, even checking with the staff, I did not even think about it. The signs didn't even register to me. It was so out of my like field of, not my field of vision, because clearly it was right in front of me, but just my,
It was out of mind.
yeah. I want to say out of sight, out of mind, but we're coming into the exact same issue as out of my field of vision. Like it was there, but yeah. And I was already showered and sitting in the bath. And normally what I do, because if I've checked with the staff, like, hey, I'm sorry, I have a few tattoos, can I still go in? Is they just ask me to sit with my back to the wall. So that's like, oh, that way no one can see. Like it's a way to be respectful to the other people at the bath. But because I was with a friend who does not have tattoos and so also would not have been thinking about it, I forgot about this really simple way to make sure that no one is disturbed. And was just sitting like very out in the open, like on the steps into the bath.
Flaunting
which means,
your
yes, pretty
inkiness.
much. Yeah, I know. My big sunflower was really like terrifying someone. So therefore, yeah, the staff came up and they're like, hey, actually you can't be in here. And I really tried to like play innocent at first. I was like, oh no, I checked with the staff downstairs and they said it was fine. And this woman's face, she looked like she was going to burst into tears. And
the sunflower is dangerous.
Yes, because the sunflower is dangerous. And B, made the most confused expression that I've ever seen a Japanese person make, which is impressive because I teach.
Yes.
So
that
I
is
guess
impressive.
that's a testament to how good my teaching is. How confused she looked. And it was just like, there's no point fighting this. So I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, we'll get out. And we took our time about it. We weren't quick to get out. My friend was definitely more concerned about it than I was because I'm like, she's already asked. She's standing there watching. If she wants to stare at naked women, weirdo, let her. Like, that's fine. But yeah, we left at that point, and I did feel bad because I was truly the one in the wrong. Like, the rules were very clear and I just really wasn't thinking about it. But it's also very strange to get kicked out of a bath if you've already made it past the staff, which means it's very likely that some person
Snitched?
must have snitched.
I'm telling you,
Chiba people, man.
Chiba-kun needs to get his mouth stitched.
you know
Snitches get stitches and they end up in ditches. Chiba-kun.
F Chiba-kun, I guess.
Because like I've heard other people like I don't know why, but people in Chiba really like calling the cops for everything.
Do they? I mean, I guess at least that means that one prefecture's police are getting paid.
I guess to go after people with sunflower tattoos and other people.
I know. I really,
like, they're so
I was thinking
quick.
about this. I feel the difference might be that I've predominantly gone to onsen in Kawasaki, which is kind of like a known Yakuza area in general.
Again, Barbary sunflower spy.
So I guess.
But even like the Japanese people I know, like here where I live in Tokyo, they also have tattoos, and they were just like the other day asking for recommendations about where to go, and all I guess the neighborhood like sentons and onsens, it's fine because they're all Japanese people and they're all tatted up, and I'm sure they're not.
I am so positive
in the mafia.
that it's fine. And I actually like after this experience, I did some thinking about it, and checked with a few Japanese friends to get their opinions on this, and I've come down to the conclusion that if you are going to a huge like corporate owned bath, like one of the major bathhouses, they've got a restaurant and They probably have sauna, the baths. They're gonna have massage.
They don't want
Massage
you. They don't
services.
need you.
They don't. Yeah, they don't need you, so they can maintain that really strict no tattoo rule because they know that they are just packed every day. There's always going to be a crowd, so it's actually a way to limit their crowds, I guess. Is they can continue to be really strict about this, but locally owned bathhouses, they don't care because they just want to keep their business going.
I mean, Chiba Prefecture, one of the things I did dislike about living there was that it is the land of chains.
Yeah.
Chain stores. Everything is a chain. So it's not surprising that you got kicked out of a
Yeah,
chain store
I know.
in Chiba.
But like, I didn't even know it was a chain, but I really just should have realized, like, because of how big the establishment was, that something was gonna go south. So yeah, I'm still gonna take the blame for this one. I don't know how to put it any other way. Like, it's on me. I should have been paying more attention, but I felt I actually was like a little bit happy about it because finally
You got to experience
this promised experience occurred.
Welcome to Japan.
Yeah, I was like,
6 years later.
yes, truly. I was like, oh, this is really the like, wow, I'm in Japan now moment for me.
I've made it.
Yeah,
I made it, Mom.
yeah. So it has happened. Many things were promised to be about Japan. You know, people are gonna definitely speak English. It's super easy. There's no discrimination. It's super
Who said
polite,
that?
very friendly. These are all the promises I was given in the U.S.
You were lied to big time.
If you have a tattoo, everyone will hate you. So like, make sure you cover that up.
I mean,
None of these have come true until
recently.
just recently.
Welcome.
Welcome. I've made it.
I mean, I didn't get hit with the facts thing that everyone talked about, like, until my 8th year in Japan. And it was in Chiba. It was in Chiba.
It's a situationship, slow burn situationship between
I'm
you
burning.
and Japan.
I'm burning.
And then you are just burning in rage.
I'm
Or
not-
due to the summertime sun. I don't know.
Which one it is?
It's as the Jonas Brothers said, I'm burning up for you, baby.
Baby. Maybe that's why our love has brought
Yes,
Japan to
here
this.
we are. Driven it to madness. What about you? Any no gingers? Anything like that's fully no ginger right there. So
my no ginger is I am not sad about the birth rate declining in Japan because I hate children. If you don't know,
just the other day I was in Futako Tamagawa, and being there, I actually forgot that Japan could have a population crisis because I felt outnumbered
by children,
by the small people. Yeah,
yeah,
I think
they are young. They are small but mighty.
they really be doing a lot. They really do be running around. They had built I think that area is particularly family friendly, is the situation.
I mean, yeah.
And I know that you've got to have a few pockets of just very family friendly areas. But what is it about kids that makes you think?
So I was taking a nighttime stroll in my park, and I was talking to my friend on the phone, and I was telling her about some recent romantic debacles I have been up to, that I might discuss in a future bonus episode if you would like to tune in. And so I'm getting to the climax of this story and very excited to tell my friend that I don't get to talk to very often and these I didn't even look at them, but they sounded like either junior high or high school kids started yelling at me, haro, 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 haro. And I'm I ignored them.
Of course you would.
And I'm taking laps around the park. And then the second lap that I'm taking crossing their path, they started flashing their bike lights into my eyeballs.
Again, Japan is such a polite place.
And
I would be so furious.
I wanted, like, where is my Japanese demon wife, demon husband? I wanted someone to crush these kids for me.
Just
like,
a demon. It doesn't matter.
I
Akuma-chan.
I just wanted to give them the fear of God, and I couldn't, because I can't do anything but ignore them. But I was so mad. And then as I left those annoying ass kids, not 2 minutes later, this 8-year-old, must have been like around 8 years old, is just crying and screaming on a bicycle.
Okay.
And then I'm like staring at her like,
what are you doing?
What are you doing? And then she gets off her bike, and I'm literally like adjacent to her, and she just tosses it across the road.
She threw her bike?
It's 11:30 p.m. at
But
night.
also, hold on, pause. How strong is this 8-year-old?
It was a big 8-year-old girl. She was a little bit a chunky girl. Fine enough. And then I'm like, what is happening? And then I'm like, where are your parents? And then I look, and then this man, this grown-ass man, also on his bike, just rams his bike into her bike. And I'm just like, do that again. And then go find the junior high school kids and do that to them
do the
too.
same thing. But also, was that her dad?
I think so.
Okay.
I believe so.
Regardless of if it is or not, like, that's insane. Because if it wasn't, that's like nuts behavior. But if it was, that's still just nuts behavior. To be like, this is how I punish my child, is I run into her bike. And like, what if he destroys the bike? The only person he's hurt is himself. He's the one who has to pay for it.
I mean,
what a doofus.
So. I mean, I don't know what's going on with this family. And then, like, you know, the week before, I had the little kid screaming on my train line. And he was like a little tarantula on the ground and screaming and then kicking passengers. And his mom just left him to go into the other car. And I'm just like, I can't.
We don't need children.
Birth control. This has just been like a birth control PR like announcement all throughout this neighborhood. I'm just like, please, no. Just no. Stop.
Where is it? I think it's like a Dutch or similar advertisement of a guy whose kid is just like absolutely throwing a tantrum in a grocery store. And then the company pops up their
is it like
catchphrase,
Trojan?
and it's just it was like Trojan. It's just like, use condoms.
Yes, exactly. My neighborhood has just been flashing the signs. Use condoms. Use birth control. Just like, we don't have a population crisis. Mm-hmm. At least I would say like Tokyo doesn't have a population crisis.
No, and I do feel like that's probably actually like why the crisis is so. I feel like what should happen is the government should start paying people to move out of Tokyo.
They apparently were supposed to do that, and they failed at doing that.
Oh, well, that's not lovely.
So, you know.
I also think that they should enact more remote work, but I don't think that's the topic of today's episode.
Nobody's, seriously. But yeah, that's my shogunate. I was just like, the kids in my neighborhood are wild.
The kids are not all right.
The kids are not all right.
Rough.
I don't like them.
Anyway. So you mentioned in your shogunai sharing that you wanted a demon wife.
Yes.
So I have a question for you, Samar.
Did you get an application?
An application for a demon wife?
Or demon husband?
I thought you were talking about like job applications, and I was like, I didn't know I was hiring. What are you talking about? No, I don't have any applications, but I do have questions about what having a Japanese demon wife may entail and how much Japanese you can ask her for help with.
I would like her to curse people out for me. That's my request.
Well, let's hear this email, and you can. The email subject line is bros.
I'm a bro.
You're a bro now.
I'm a bro.
Okay, bros. I've got one for you. Having recently once again become partnered with a Japanese person, I'm constantly bumping up against this most vexing ethical dilemma. How hard is it okay to lean on your partner for Japanese language help? For example, if there's like a tax thing, I have absolutely no problem waving the document at her and saying, help! But not 6 months in, she's doing most of the ordering at restaurants. I know how to order in a restaurant. Congratulations.
I hope so.
I'm sorry. I know how to order in a restaurant. For years of single life, I was a big boy and did everything myself. including taxes. And as we all know, there are many, many useless gaijin men, and it's all men,
God damn.
living in this country for decades who can't speak a fucking word of Japanese and have absolutely no interest in learning. They just mooch 100% off their wives and they suck, and I don't want to be one. So, where is the line? What is an appropriate amount of Japanese language assistance to expect from your partner? I await the episode with bated breath. Love, in 5 and survive.
Okay, but this person just like undid their whole email with their sign off.
Right.
I
Well,
mean,
I'm glad you said it
F5
first.
and
F5 and
survive,
survive is it is catchy. We will title the episode after you, I promise. But, my guy, N5 is not tax level Japanese.
I don't even think it's ordering food level appropriate. Can you order food?
But
at
I feel
F5?
like that's survival Japanese, so I can cut some slack there.
Okay.
But
So you have a Japanese partner.
I do have a Japanese partner. You've had a Japanese partner. My Japanese partner. Well, okay, actually, I feel I can't really answer this well because Bamboo Boy is the type of person to just go, you can do it yourself. It's fine.
Until he actually sees you doing it, and then he'll jump in because
Yeah,
it is not
then
being
he gets
done.
embarrassed.
He's embarrassed by you.
I'm not sure. I haven't figured it out. Like when we started dating, it was COVID era. So no one was talking to anybody.
Mm.
Everything suddenly moved online. You wanted to order something, just Uber Eats. Like you never spoke to humans.
That's a
But
convenient time to be here.
that's also the time when I realized this relationship is probably going to last for a while. So I started studying Japanese really hard at that time. And while I have not achieved the level of fluency that I wish I had achieved, when it came to me actually having to use Japanese outside of like ordering off of Uber Eats and such, because humans could go out and human again, at that point, I didn't really need him. But there was one time when I wanted to get a new bank account because Wise, which was still known as TransferWise at the time, had changed their bank account that they were using to send money overseas. And I had only JP at that time. And JP would only transfer a maximum of, get this, only 4万 yen per transfer.
That's very helpful.
Which is such a small amount of money. And I was trying to pay student loans because I was really close to done with them at the time. And it was like, if I can just get this money sent over there, well, we don't need to talk about the horror of student loans. But I was worried that I wouldn't be able to fill out the forms because I knew that they needed to be filled out in Japanese. So I brought Bamboo Boy with me. But the rule is still like you have to write it yourself. So he just stood there and suffered while I drew kanji the wrong direction because I didn't know the stroke order at the time. I didn't know how to write it. And then we sat down to get the account and they wouldn't give it to me even with him there to translate. So I think also following that, which we talked about that story in detail in another episode when we talked about banks. But I think after that, he kind of got hesitant to even want to help me because even though he was helpful in translating, he wasn't able to solve the problem. And I think I'm not trying to like speak for him or make him sound like he doesn't want to help, but like if you know that whatever you were trying to help on, there was no way that you could make the situation go any differently, it can be a little bit demoralizing. So that might have something to do with it. It's just my speculation.
Yeah, I think I've seen this with house hunting. A lot of Japanese people, when they are helping foreigners, they don't realize how much work it can be.
Yeah.
And then 2, they don't really realize how not foreign friendly things can be. And I think that I mean, I think like you don't want to think that your like home country is not so nice to people that you like,
Sure.
right? And that you're
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
help. So it can, I think, also be sad for them.
Yes, I agree.
Like, that's what I realized with like dealing with real estate agents who didn't have foreign clientele, and then they did, and then they realized like how difficult it can be
Yeah.
and this kind of thing. So like they want to help, but it is very difficult to help, because you're not just dealing with a language problem, but you're also dealing with a
Yeah, like a socio-cultural
cultural
problem. At
Yeah,
this point. And
and
I
it's
think
a lot.
I think also, you know, even now, if I really need help with something, it's usually something that I have to read more than something that can be done via spoken communication.
And now we got Chatty G.
Yes. So, I mean, I'm now like, it's sometimes faster than me asking Bamboo Boy for help. Like, the fastest thing I can do is just take a picture of whatever the document is and ask ChatGPT to give me a summary of like, do I need to take any action with this? And it will tell me exactly what I need to do. So on that front, honestly, like, of course, I'm sure that Bamboo Boy would help me, but there's just there's no point
reason.
to it. There's no reason to make him have to translate when a machine can do it without that mental load. And I think that would probably be the start of my answer to this email, is the amount of Japanese it is appropriate to ask someone to help you with is, what is their mental load capacity at that point?
Yes, that is one of the most important things. Because I started off in Japan, and it was hard to get help. So I had to rely on Japanese. Especially I was living in places that were very not English friendly. There were no English services. It's not like Tokyo. The rest of Japan is probably Osaka probably has English services, but outside of those two areas, it's really hard to do a lot of things. So I had to rely on people a lot, and I hated it. I hated relying on people for help. But then I think the problem with relying on Japanese people for help, or just people in general, is you get used to asking for help all the time. So I used to get told by somebody that if you didn't Google it yet, don't ask me.
That's rough too, because I feel like Google Translate only recently became actually useful.
Yeah,
in terms of like English to Japanese.
Great, but like he didn't mean like Google Translate it. He means Google the grammatical word, or look for it.
Sure.
Like look whatever you're asking.
On this front, I can kind of respect it, because that's half of my answers to my students at this point is like, just, did you try to sort that out by yourself?
Yeah.
No.
So it's kind of like do it. But then I was on my own a lot as well. So I had to try to do things by myself. In the case of this emailer, it sounds like they've been here a while and they've have things sorted out. And it sounds like this Japanese partner is kind of just treating them like a token foreigner. Like
That
not
could be.
like they're
Yeah.
infantilizing their foreign boyfriend. Like they can't do things by themselves when they can. And like that can be, I think, in some relationship dynamics, they feel very useful, right? They feel like they're helpful and they're loving and like they're mothering, but
Yeah, there's
like,
a dark side to that. Like a really, that can easily go south, because, you know, I can say, I think birth order plays a huge role in how you act in a relationship. And let's say that if in this case the Japanese partner is maybe the oldest sibling, they're probably used to just trying to make things easier for those around them. That tends to be the case. So it could be one of those things. It's just genuinely her personality to want to step in and want to be the one who orders. But we also have seen situations where like the Japanese partner genuinely does not believe that their foreign partner is going to be able to learn Japanese. Like it comes down to this level of like, oh well, I spent all this time learning English, so I want to use it. So you don't need to bother with Japanese because I want to use my English. I think both of those could exist too.
There are those people, but I think the longer you're in a relationship, from my Japanese female friends who are married to foreign men who can sometimes speak Japanese, sometimes can't speak Japanese so well, they still have to take on a lot more burdens than they would like. Like they've complained, like they can't do this, they can't do anything with paperwork.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna buy a house or you're gonna do the kids' paperwork or any of this, anything that has to, like hospitals, whatever, like they have to do everything.
Sure. And I also think like the longer that you're in the relationship, and obviously you're talking about those who are married, right? The longer you're in the relationship, those moments of having to be the person who handles the situation are going to stack, like they're going to add up.
They're gonna add up, and also the man has now gotten used to that treatment from the beginning.
So I can't envision that guy then being willing to start learning the language, because it is like, to be fair, it is a little bit embarrassing when you're there trying your best in Japanese, and especially if your partner is right there and you mess up at all. Like this is the one thing that sometimes Bamboo Boy does this, and I will just like elbow him out, like just let me finish my conversation. I might hear myself make a mistake and watch a little bit of confusion come on whoever I'm talking to, whatever staff member's face. That's when Bamboo Boy wants to just jump in, and I don't actually find that helpful because I'm managing myself just fine. Like I can re-explain, I know what I've done wrong, but then he'll jump in, but he might not have been listening to the earlier part of the conversation. So then what happens is that he's explaining a situation that isn't the situation, and I have to come and be like, no, chigaimasu. Like, actually, no, it's not like that. And so it ends up adding work for me, but that is totally not the situation right now. So what is embarrassing, though, is when you're like, okay, I really want to learn this language, and then you feel like every time you want to try to use it, well, my wife could just do it better, so why should I bother? My wife can just do it already. Like, why bother?
Demoralizing. So that's why I guess I am grateful that in my previous circumstances I was forced to do things by myself.
Did you have friends who like would force you to order? Like, I know you don't know the words, but just try.
I didn't have friends. No, generally when I go out with Japanese people who are friends, they will just order for me. And that's to be fair, nice. Like I don't like ordering in English or Japanese. So that's just a personal.
Like for me, it was kind of my initial Japanese learning experiences. I'm grateful for this now, but at the time I wasn't. I had friends who just would sit there and go, "We know you don't know how to do this, but just try it. Just go for it." And you know, it was fine because they were right there to back me up. So if I couldn't understand the question, you know, they were quick to translate it for me, and I would try to answer, and they were there to be very helpful. But that was them goofing. Like they were just goofing with me. They're like, you know, obviously you can get this wrong. But imagine that was your partner and they're constantly having to act like they're your tutor or your mentor. I mean, in this behavior. That would be obnoxious, I think.
I mean, that's how I was treated a little bit. And I did find it really irritating.
With your ex?
Yeah, because, like, he meant well. But, like, for me, it was super embarrassing to speak Japanese in front of him. I don't want to. Especially because he was similar to Bamboo Boy, where he's, like, very linguistically inclined and very critical. So, like, I don't want to speak in front of you. And, like, if he wasn't there, I could do it by myself. But when he was there, I did not want to do it. And we would have fights about the pressure
of, well, I'm by myself, so I have to do it.
Yeah. But then, like, from his point of view, it was kind of like, I'm here. I'm here for you. And if anything goes wrong, I'm here to support you.
Sure.
Which is kind. Yeah. But, like, the embarrassing part was not understood.
The language anxiety is still there. The affective filter is still high for you as the person using it. So... yeah, especially if it's like, oh, I don't want to be, what did he say? living in this country for decades who can't speak a word of Japanese and have absolutely no interest in learning. I feel like it's one thing if you're the person who is willing to try, be it embarrassing or not, or like, oh, I don't use it in front of my partner unless I absolutely have to, but I can hold my own, is a really different situation from been here for a long time, understand what I think I understand of the culture because I've been here for so long, but actually I don't speak the language. And I think that that can add another level of like what wouldn't go well is because I think you can probably agree with this. The more of Japanese language that you learn, the better you understand the culture of Japan, right? So if you are someone who is just going off of what you think is happening without understanding the words, I assume that there's going to be more issues of miscommunication between you and your wife or partner because you're not understanding culturally where your partner is coming from either.
Yeah, I think one of the worst things that like Japanese women and foreign men couples tend to do is, again, they tend to do everything for the guys, especially in the beginning of the relationship. And then I think as they become, again, a married couple, they realize like, okay, this person is not holding their own, and but I can't change them at this point. I married them.
Yeah.
And it blows up in their faces later. Or they just have to learn to just take on more of the burden. And I guess this guy is our viewer, our kind and 5 and survive, is noticing this dynamic early and doesn't want to be this way. So how much can they rely on the Japanese partner? I guess I would say, like, if you've tried to do it by yourself.
Right. Yeah, like a try it in Japanese first policy might be a good way to
like,
check yourself.
Try. I mean, I don't think I would be able to like live in a foreign country this long and not try to learn
the language.
Because I like chatting with people. I'm just a little chatterbox, and not being able to chat hurts my soul.
I mean, it blows my mind the people I've met who have been here for a long time, have held multiple jobs here, and still don't speak the language. And that's down to even just the level of like, sure, you can order. I think actually ordering in Japanese is probably one of the easiest things to do in Japanese because you can just point at the menu.
They have pictures.
And say, this please. And if you just say, kore
kudasai.
You don't even need the kudasai. Kore.
That reminds me of the
one.
I just taught this in class about like the Lawson guy in Osaka that got super mad about the foreigners just going like kore, and then he wrote in Japanese, not kore kinshi. Kore, don't say kore, you have to say kore kudasai.
Yeah, but the funniest thing about that was that then he wrote that all in Japanese. It's like, they can't read that, buddy.
Yeah, it was
good point, good sentiment, but bad execution.
But my Japanese students were also like, but we also say kore kudasai. Like, but
yeah.
Anyway, that's the point. The point
is that if you're going to be in a long-term relationship with someone in Japan, or rather, if you're going to be in a long-term relationship with a Japanese person and you are not going to bother to learn the language, then you should probably have a network of people who are willing to help you and not just always put it on your wife or your partner.
Yeah, I think I've met women, a lot of women married to Japanese men. They tend to speak Japanese. I've heard of women who don't. I haven't personally met them.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I've heard of them. But like I think it gets worse when they have kids and like their kids speak.
But I've actually only heard of this happening like usually the couple then moves from Japan so she doesn't learn Japanese.
I've heard a couple of them who live in Japan. Like I've heard of them. But like I've
never met like it's always that if there is a foreign woman in the relationship, she will learn at least, a CEFR B2 level. So you're at business level. It's not going to be grammatically perfect, but you can navigate pretty much any situation. So that
I haven't, but I've met way more men that cannot speak.
I just can't imagine like living in any foreign country for an extended period of time
But
and
again,
not knowing the
I
language.
think that is on the partner. Like the partners that they find are people who want to take care of them. But I don't think it's ever great to be in a dependent situation. And like I think a lot of women do get tired of it eventually. They don't.
Yeah.
I realize the mental toll. Like I think in the beginning they just want to.
Like
They
I feel like
like them
it seems
so
almost like a
much.
bonding experience
Yeah.
too. Like, oh, I can help you. Like you're learning to rely on me for this, and I can rely on you for that.
I'm
But
showing you
then-
the world.
But then eventually, when it becomes
That's what it feels like. They are like Aladdin to this foreign. Like the guy is Jasmine.
but until sure, it's cool when you start off and you're able to help your partner out. But when that becomes consistent, that it's you are acting like you are just their teacher, always giving them information or always holding their hand and encouraging them to, could you just do this one thing for me so you can pass, blah, blah, blah. If that is your relationship consistently, then that's when, like, right as I said at the very beginning, that's just mental load on that person.
I think also like with relationships, you want to see growth over
Sure.
time,
Yeah.
and when you don't see it, it's so disappointing.
Mm.
And like you want to see someone doing their best in something, and like one of the things is, I guess, if they're living in your country, you want to see that they're doing their best to like integrate or enjoy parts of the culture, and when
Yeah.
they don't, then it's less and less sexy as time goes on.
I think even for me, when I'm speaking with somebody who is married to a Japanese woman and he's explaining to me all about, well, because you know in Japan, this XYZ thing, this cultural element, it's always the most surface level understanding and still feels quite stereotypical. I find that really frustrating. So I am so positive then that the wife as well is like, he doesn't even understand. Like, it's not just a he doesn't understand my language. It's a he can't understand me.
Yeah.
And that, it's a little bit heartbreaking, honestly.
Yeah, I've been like, I remember I went to like this burger restaurant, and then it was owned by an American guy, and he was married to like this Japanese woman for like, I don't know, 30 years. But like, he was insulting her as I was there. And then I'm just like, I don't know how she's
Over
been married.
what? Yeah.
I don't remember exactly, but it was condescending. And this is the kind of dynamic that I often find with like foreign guy, Japanese girl, or even like
Yeah.
I saw it in Thailand as well. Like
Sure.
like I see it often, and it's like the women don't, because of the cultural barrier, they don't notice that they're being condescended to at that moment, right? But like I wonder, because I remember talking to this guy who had been married with a Japanese woman for a long time, but then she just suddenly divorced him, and he was just like, she just went and then just one day decided to divorce me, and she wouldn't tell me why. And like these kind of mental load capacity things, I think it adds on to the Japanese partner. And yeah, it's just not good to do. Like you should always show that you've made the effort to do things by yourselves. If you've been able to do taxes by yourself in the past and you've had no problem, why would you go to your partner to do it now?
And
right?
if you're going to a restaurant and your partner insists on ordering, I think that's fine, to be honest.
But I would ask her, why does she keep ordering for you when
But
you can
take
order?
your chances too. If y'all go to a bar, take your chances to go up and buy drinks for the both of y'all. Like
Yeah.
take your moments where you can to be the one who's ordering, so that she doesn't feel like she's always taking care of you when she's out to have a good time, you know. And other things as well. If at home, like there's a delivery or something like that, assuming, I don't know if these people live together, but if you do, you can still be the guy who goes up and answers the door. Like that's
Yeah,
generally just safer. There's
yeah.
just so many small, I think it's always in the little things. Like if it's the big things that you need her help on, I think that she kind of understood that. She signed up for that in dating a foreign guy. But if it's the little things where you're also constantly forcing her to help, that's probably where the issue mostly stems from. So then when there is a big thing like moving house or whatever, and she feels like not only did I have to do all this little stuff, but also now I have to handle this massive thing by myself, I can see that causing a lot of resentment.
It's also like, I give a lot of slack to anyone who lives outside of Tokyo. But if you live in Tokyo or like in the Kanto area, you don't really need Japanese people's help for anything.
No.
There's a English speaking real estate agent,
it's much
doctors.
easier to do it in Japanese if you can. Like the number of people available to you is much greater.
Yeah.
But if you can't, there will be someone. You might have to go out of your way a little bit. But in Tokyo,
There's literally everything here. Like
Yeah.
Compared to the rest of the country, there's literally there's no reason for you to be like bothering your Japanese partner for everything. Like it's unnecessary. It's just laziness at that point.
and especially now, I think at convenience stores, even the clerks who can speak decent English has suddenly greatly increased. There's been a diversification of the types of people working at convenience stores. We don't need to go into what that might be, maybe for another episode. But because of this, even at your local convenience store, it's likely that someone there can help you with whatever. It's going to be tax forms or what else do you...
Convenience store?
Yeah, you can pay all of your taxes and
I'm
pension
thinking,
and all
like,
of that.
the
Like
stuff
you
they
can
need
just
to
go.
submit.
You can even go to convenience store to get like your Juminhyo and things like that now.
Yeah. I mean, I've done that. I just paid my tax bill. It was painful.
Sorry about that.
I wasn't sure like they meant going to the tax office or not, but
I feel
Yeah.
like most of the time, like if you go to the tax office, then
they also will help you.
yeah, they will.
So there'll be somebody. Like
It's different if your partner offers to help.
yeah, but I would also be wary of someone who wants to help with everything.
Yes,
That's
I
a
agree.
bit. That's a bit too much. It's kind of like they don't want you to grow up in Japan, and again, that kind of can be for those
It
people
seems
who
nice at first, up until it.
yeah,
it
they're trying to kind of hinder your progress at that point, and like
And
I don't know.
I don't want it to sound like I think that they're intentionally hindering your progress, because I think that's a pretty. If someone is intentionally stopping you, like that's pretty broken. That's probably not the relationship you should be in. But if it's one of those things, like they just genuinely don't seem to believe that you could do something on your own, and so they always are aiming to help you, like that's good. That's a weird power imbalance that I don't think would lead to a healthy relationship anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of like they don't respect you as your own independent person.
No.
Yeah, so
So
do things by yourself,
try it first,
and then ask
ask for help.
if you need it.
Do what you can, and frankly, just study Japanese. If you're gonna live here, just study it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, no ifs and buts about it. Just study.
Yeah, it's painful, but we gotta do this. We'll do it together.
So I'm gonna give this one a shoga aru, big aru. You can definitely improve this situation.
Yeah, there's still 4 levels of N.
Yeah, right. So while you have N5 and survived,
We want you to be N1 and thrive.
want you to. Oh, I like that. That was nice. How long have you been thinking about that?
Just
this
popped
episode?
out.
That was brilliant.
Oh.
On that note, this has been No Ginger. You can find us on all your socials: Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, even Podbean, if you're, like my mom. If you have any topics you'd like us to cover, any problems or shogunai situations you want to hear our opinions on,
Email us at nogingerpodcast@gmail.com. DM us on Instagram or TikTok, or even send us a voice note if that is easier. We are dying to hear from you guys, so please submit soon. If you've got a problem,
we'll put it on the podcast.
bye!